All right, there we go. We're underway. So what are we looking at? S&P, well, MES contracts. Actually what I think we need to do is update the alerts on the MAG7 tickers. All these alerts are going off, and I haven't looked at them in a while, probably in 2 weeks. You can see they're kind of out of range, right? So let's get new levels in there, because I know a lot of you guys are looking at these, and it can get very noisy and unnecessarily noisy if the levels don't make sense. So 30-minute chart here on Tesla. We'll do this first. We'll go through all these and then talk about other things. 30-minute chart on Tesla. So I bring this. You can see previous price action. There's an extreme low. It went right through that today. But more realistically, I think bring it here and see where it bounced off. Well, right over there. And yeah, just about in that range. It might even bring it up a little. Yeah, this makes more sense. So this eventually, this looks like a tiny false breakout. So is it here? And from here to long. Oh, there you go. That went off already. What else do we have? Some interesting activity overnight. You can see that pretty much the low of yesterday and the high of today, all the overnight activity. So that's an interesting point. Yeah, obviously, about the low of the day. Let's leave that on for now. Just leave it as it is. If you know what, we'll just bring this down here to this extreme right there. There we go. Now we have levels that make more sense. So look at that. That one actually aligns very nicely. There's a big point there. So there you go. Tesla, I think these levels make sense. We used the levels up here for the last couple of weeks, and now it's in a different range. So anyone got any questions, just jump in anytime. Can go through more stuff with these levels and candles and everything. So Nvidia, so I got news here on Nvidia. All right, what do we have? Went through this level. We've had this on for a little while. Let's bring this one further down. This catches my eye right away. So it bounced off and it gapped right through it. And here it was, it broke through and was Andrew, you got a hot mic. Mendra, you got a hot mic, buddy. Sort that out. All right. So where were we here? Nvidia, the way I see it, yeah, this level makes sense. It was support turned resistance, and then again it was support, maybe a little lower, makes sense. Yeah, just about in that area. Went through it today. Well, that was the open really, and bounced right through it. Yeah, this level has been on for a while from earlier. There you go. That big turnaround point. That's in play. And this one's way out. So let's bring this in. We have, this was support, turned into resistance. I think this makes perfect sense. So there you go. Nvidia. Apple's 30-minute chart. I remember last time I looked at Apple, I didn't want to look at it. It's such a mess. Anyways, that level today has been in play that we put on some weeks ago. That one's just way out. Looking here, you can see there was plenty of resistance there. Then it broke out. More recently, let's bring it out. Where is it? There it is. Bring it in a bit. You have support there. Then it broke out, turned into resistance. This area makes sense. This is just 2 days ago. So that's interesting. There we go. Apple. Amazon. What do we got? Overnight, that level that we had from a while back, I think we put it on because of this area. Yeah, this was resistance. It was support previously, so that makes sense. And woof. Wow, overnight again, I went through there. Was there news on Amazon? Anyone up to date with this stuff? Is it earnings? Because it's playing with these levels. It's made a big move. Anyone up to date? These are not typically things I like to look at. I think these levels are fine where they are, especially with today's activity. So I'll just leave that. Microsoft, what do we have? Oh, man. Let's see. That one's way up there. You have, well, where the price is now, it was being respected, but it's a great big mess more recently. I might just use the high of last week, or high of yesterday, sorry. Right about in that zone, bring it in a bit. Yeah, that's respecting those highs right there. So false breakouts. And then got right through it. So it's fine. Right here, these levels work. It's in the range. And what do we have here? Meta. Anyone in here still trading Meta? Please tell me you're not. I gave up on Meta some years ago. Feels like a long time now. All right. Over here, this is interesting. You have all these wicks, keeps bouncing off of this area, the big institutional money, basically. That happened overnight as well. This level we've had on for a while. And that one's further up. I think things are okay here. Don't need to play with it. AMD. AMD, we've had this level on for a while. Today it's been working with it. But we've got more activity. This is 2 weeks ago. You can see the lows there happen to be working today. Actually, I'd bring that in a bit. You can see it's been bouncing more precisely right here. These are just false little breakouts. So if we use this today, that may have been just about where the ORB happened. Off you go, something like that. So there you go. AMD, Google. Oh boy, Google's gone somewhere else. All right, that low over there. Yeah, that worked. That worked. But I'm not sure what to do with this one. But yeah, this low makes sense. This level. Let's go further back. Here we go. We got some resistance zones here. It's all very messy. Oof. Yeah, I wouldn't trust anything on this. You know, just put it down here where the price really trended around more recently, and leave it alone. I wouldn't be able to find any level in this zone which would have identified today's bounce overnight. But yeah, nothing here. Nothing here. I'd leave that one alone. All right, there we go. Updated levels. Everyone okay with those? Good, clean, clear. Thanks, Vinay, for this. He's the one who got me doing this stuff, putting levels out there and these alerts go into our Discord. Thanks for this. I would never have done it otherwise. So cool. There you have it. I think I am still in a live position on Russell 2000. Is it? No, is it? No, it closed out. Yeah, that was a target. It hit the target a little while ago. Didn't even know. Well, there we go. Went long from, I think, in this area somewhere. Got the target. Cool. Fun. So what else is on your minds, guys?
Did you get stopped out on gold?
Gold, what happened, gold? Yes. I took a break-even stop out on gold, and then I re-entered a short later, and I got the move I was looking for. Or went to the target. And that was it, gold. Where is it? I think it was a short. Yeah, this was it. I remember this. It was earlier today.
Double top there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went short here at first, I believe, in this area.
Yeah.
And back, took the break-even stop out, and then I shorted it again. And on that second attempt, it got into the middle of the range, basically, right in, which is where I placed my target. And that's it. It's been tricky, I gotta say, gold. I mean, it's bouncing between these levels.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's one of the tougher ones to trade recently. So be a little careful with it. Let's go into. I've been looking more at this chart, of course, the footprint chart, and this is the 1,000-tick footprint chart. And what I explored over the weekend and today, more specifically, was really zooming out on this chart, and really all you see is candlesticks. See if you can find levels on this kind of chart, and then all you got to do is zoom into the candlesticks, and then you have your footprint information. And maybe you just trade off of that. You don't need much else. So a couple of trades I did take today were off of this chart. I think the gold one was, what else did I trade? MES. I got into MES. That was on this chart. It was a short. So no big deal. You're just, again, looking at the transactions, the way the buyers and sellers are interacting with each other, with the market orders, limit orders, all that stuff. And you're not bothered about where the candles open or close, and not even bothered about wicks. So it's actually, I'm taking one more little step away from naked trading, which was all about candlestick patterns, and going more into just quite literally reading the transaction patterns, the way the market orders and limit orders are interacting with each other. And hey, man, it's making life a lot simpler and more precise. So it's been good fun. But yeah, gold has been complicated. This one, the MES, yes, I got a short on this one, I believe, from up here somewhere down to this area. That was the earlier trade I took. All the screenshots are there, guys, in our Discord. Now you don't even have the footprint information anymore. So I like to take those screenshots early on when I open a trade, as long as it doesn't stop out in a few minutes or within a minute or something. Basically, it's working. And I get a screenshot of it, and then I get at least to get to look at it with the footprint information, what works, what doesn't work, all that fun stuff. But on the MES, these are the levels I've had on. And well, if you tried to trade exactly off this level today, you'd be in a big mess. But if you're really looking at reversals, you can see the bottom was here. You don't try to catch the bottoms. I always say that. Try and catch the continuation of the reversal. If you identify reversal here, you go up, try to identify overhead resistance, and then go above that. So the obvious one, looking in hindsight here, is this area of resistance. You can see it popped up through it. There's your consolidation, or you can call it breakout, retest, and off you go. I wasn't looking at it. And at this point, for me, it's not, it's too far away from the zone I'm interested in. So I wouldn't have been interested, I think. I haven't been looking at it. Now it's again popped up through a zone that I would be interested in. If it comes back closer, I'll look at it. I wasn't looking at it in this area a little while ago, which happens to be a bounce off of that high in the pre-market. Look at that. Anyone catch this? If you have pre-market levels on, not too difficult. Just break and retest with pre-market high. Yeah. After a major gap down over the weekend. That is interesting. Anyways, you know what I think is the more interesting one is oil. And we've been discussing this for a while since the war broke out last week. And the whole idea that I was trying to share with you all is that generally, especially this kind of war, it's pretty basic. The supply of oil in the world is being cut off bit by bit. And so the price of oil goes up, demand supply, right? And so that's what we've had in the last 1 week. It's been going up, and we had a huge move overnight today. But if you were not part of that and you were just trying to go long, you were not having fun all day. But what's interesting is I think it's in a place now where if the big buyers truly step in here, you may have a chance to get on with this today, as in it's there now, right where the bottom of the gap was overnight. And you can see it's holding firmly. You know there were major players here. Let's see if they're still here. So I really like this level. My alert never went off on this. It was off. Let's see, what do we have? Zooming into this. When it got to the bottom, there you go. You have the anomaly, red dots, and it should go down. It did not go down. It went up. Some more sellers than buyers, but it still went up. So that's an anomaly. Once you have that, you wait for more confirmation of the price moving upward with volume, probably in this zone. You can get involved. And you still be holding on to this. So that was a while ago. That was about 30 minutes ago. So something to keep an eye on. Over here, you never know what you get.
Do you think it will try to fill the gap?
Let's look at this. Where are we looking at gaps? You're looking at the gap down here?
Yeah,
Going
there's
down?
93, I think, to 94 something.
Yeah. You know, it could. What you want to watch for is watch, of course, this has to be a good consolidation with lower highs. Then you have the breakdown, the retest, and then you have a tiny move going down. It's not very far to go. So it could happen. And if that happens, actually, I would be very interested to see a false breakdown where it goes down and it's not a big move, like we said. And then it goes right back up in and reclaims the level and then go long from there. I think the bigger opportunities on the upside here. Just looking at the structure of the chart and where the key players are, you can see this is obviously a key level here. And then you have resistance here. If it just goes down there, you never know what you're going to get there. You're just going to bounce right off it, maybe. So I'd be careful about going short down here. But yeah, it could happen. And again, for the longs, I think it's an excellent idea. If that happens now in the next 1 hour, then I'd be interested perhaps for a long. Play it as a false breakout, go long from there.
Somewhere above 95, 96.
Yeah, this level here, 90, 95-ish. Yeah, just about. Yeah. That's where I'm interested in. And then this one as well, of course. So this was, I'd put this on after I saw the overnight activity here. You have resistance, it went up, resistance, breakout, and then it retested, bounce off and go. So that level, put it on, and it's been making sense so far today. got to it, got a little messy, but then it's been rejecting from there so far. So that's how I got these levels. These are levels just on the 1,000 tick chart. Not even bothered with footprints on this. It's just a tick chart. So yeah, fun times. Oil. Is anyone in here actively trading oil? I know we have Oliver and Tariq and a few guys who are looking at this, and Zach. You guys taking trades on this?
No, it's just too risky. Anything like they will stop they will use, like if they will stop the war now, we'll find it back to 60 in a blink.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean-
yes. Yeah.
I
Go
made
ahead.
some attempts yesterday at the open.
Mm,
Nothing good. Just kind of faked me out. I don't normally
Yeah.
trade. I want to get back in. I want to try to get into it a little bit.
yeah.
Just as another instrument to have on my belt in case I need it. But NQ and gold are more my go-tos.
It makes sense. See, oil is tricky because it's heavily in play right now with the catalyst, and so it's got that excess volatility. Which
Yeah.
again, if you're for big trades, hold them for hours for big RVR. It's not a good situation to be in stuff like oil. In those reasons, for those reasons. So yeah, smart to just be very watchful of it. If you're gonna do it with some small size and then leave it alone. I think I took one attempt on oil earlier. I think it was a long in this area perhaps, and took like a half-hour stop or something. It was down here. Couldn't even get the move that went. But yeah, it's got excess volatility. But knowing the situation, as soon as everything, war broke out, went back here, then it gapped up, and then if you're looking for a longer term play, as in you hold it as long as the war is on. The moment there's an announcement of a ceasefire or something, you de-risk your position. That would be a swing trade, but simply by really monitoring everything that's going on. So that makes sense. That's a simpler way to go if you want to do all that. I don't do much swing trading, so I'm not bothered.
And one more thing, the average true range of oil normally in a year is $19. So, so yeah, the volatility is not just like something that we should be careful with.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That's an important point. Yeah, the ATR will tell you that it's excessive right now. It's amazing how it is. You can see it just looking at the chart as well. Same thing, right? It was tiny, and then now it's going wild. So, yeah, trade at your own risk. This sort of thing. That's why most of the trades you see from me are more on MES. Still, I'm still mostly on that more than anything else. I just find opportunities there. I just guess I've got a good read on it and how to trade it. I've been doing it for long enough. All these other ones, they're good. They're good fun. Look at them, see what happens. You might learn something. But yeah, there we go. Boy, that would have been a hell of a swing trade, huh? With lots of leverage. Take it down here somewhere. No, not for me. Not my style. So anyways, guys, here we are. Trading is terribly boring, and then you're doing it right. That's what we have, especially around this time of the day. But if something pops up, if things go to a level, then look at it. Might put on a position. We still have about 4 hours, 4.5 hours till the futures markets close. So that's okay. There's plenty of time for a decent trade. Get some good RVR. What else is on your mind? Go ahead.
Gold is looking interesting. If it starts to go down from here, it might put in a really nice trade. It's in a choppy range, but again, we're making higher lows on the 30 minutes time frame. So
This is gold, and you're looking at 30-minute chart. Okay, that's over here. 30-minute on gold. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, it is a mess.
Yeah.
And you're looking short from out of this chart.
yeah,
Okay.
the top of this range, especially that we have a level, the 5126.
Yeah, well, just about in this zone.
But if we short it from here, we should expect it to move like really fast towards 50, 55. If it didn't move fast, it will keep dropping.
It's definitely chopping for now, and I don't understand. You're saying a fast move. What gives you the idea of a fast move? I don't see anything. I'm not sure. How do you gauge that? Anticipating
is narrower pullbacks on the shorter time frames, and the higher volume on the selling.
Okay.
This is what I'm looking for. And once we break the 51,000, I'm not expecting to see buyers here. If I started seeing buyers here, I'm out of it.
That's good. Then you have the plan. That's a good plan. You have risk management. You know the place you want to look at, and you know the volume and various momentum things you're looking at on a small time frame. That's good. Now that's much better than most people I've spoken with in the trading world. Hey, look, it's going down. Should I go short? Don't even talk to me like that. That's most of the conversations in the last 5 years have been that way. There you go.
Yes, you go down.
Yeah. Yeah, so tell them, go short, go blow yourself up, and don't call me again. I don't want to talk about it. There you go. Tarek's got a plan, and that's a good thing. Even the risk management side of it, as in where's the target, what's the pitfall? You see buyers in that area, it's trouble. You know, looking for the volume before the entry and the momentum to go with it. That's a trading plan. And then if you stop out a few times doing that, that's okay. That's fine. You can do it 4 times and you get 1 to work, and that's it. That's all you really need. But people get excited when there's a fast-moving candlestick. Oh, we're going short now. Everyone's short. It's doing some stuff. Let's go. It's long. It's short. It's whatever. That is not trading. That is too much excitement and blowing up accounts, and we've all seen that. Everyone in here is experienced enough to know these things. Just please be careful. I mean, gold did do a very fast move here yesterday, or overnight, on Friday, pretty much after the close. This was interesting. But,
also, the NASDAQ is looking interesting. We're here at the area of resistance. If we start selling from here, we might look at the pullback towards like the breakout area.
Pull back down to
24.55.
Yeah. 450. Oh, you're looking down here. 50. Okay, I see it. Yeah, it's interesting. So what's cool is, again, I think that's a good example of room to the left. You can see where it opened. Well, pre-market was a choppy mess, but then it got to in the gap area. You can see there's room to the left, and sure enough, it was a neat, clean move right there. Let's zoom into this a bit. You can see room to the left, and it just went right through it. Very neat, no real trouble, right? And now look to the left, it's in this choppy, tricky zone. That's what Tarek is saying about the resistance. Yeah, you could find resistance here. If you do find it, well, you could go right back through it again. That makes sense. Keep an eye on it. It's an interesting zone. I've just got these levels here based on, this was the previous low, and this was the overnight high, basically. It turns out it was a good breakout from there. But yeah, keep an eye on it. It's interesting. Again, room to the left, even with footprint charts that I'm looking at now, I'm still looking at room to the left. That has been a really magical little tip. It's amazing. It keeps you out of a lot of crappy trades. It also gives you good indications of when is it likely to go, where the price does not want to be. So it's likely to go away from there, right? Room to the left. This is a very clean example today. Very, very simple. So that worked out nicely. Yeah, keep an eye on this. Could be an interesting zone. Let's see what can we work with. I have levels here, but I'm not too inclined to go long on this thing anytime soon. I would I'm looking at this right here. See that the support went through it, and it got a little tricky, but it did turn into support here as well, and then that descending wedge and straight down again. So if you're having an idea for a trade in this zone, well, you have these levels to work with, either short from here or a long from here. Let it come back to that zone and see what happens. Let's look at the footprint chart on this. This could be interesting. What do we have here? Again, this is the 1,000-tick footprint chart. It's a little different than the 100-tick chart I was looking at last week. It's just much slower, much easier to trade. So as it approaches the level, getting to see some resistance here. Bit of an ascending wedge, a tricky kind of not so clean breakout. Here it came back, retest and go. What else? Yeah, dropped back down and bounced again off of that kind of resistance zone. But this is very tricky. This is, squint your eyes to see this, right? It's not a clean pattern. So just based on the pattern stuff, I'm not even going to look at it. There's nothing here, I'd say. So wait for it to get back to the level and see what you get. You might get massive selling up here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Here, yeah. So it's sold off from there, and now seems like that's the anomaly right there. This is the footprint chart thing that I like to look at. The anomaly right there. Lots of buying, but the price has gone down so far. It's coming back up to it. See what happens. Oh, there you go. Lots of buying, and this time going up. There. Now that's not an anomaly. That's normal. That's a breakout. That's what a breakout should look like. If you're interested in the long, wait for it to retest. Basically, the candle comes back down to where it broke out from right there. It bounces off. Pretty fast moving. You can see even on a 1,000-tick chart, it's still fast moving, right? Try trading a 100-tick chart. It's just not worth the trouble. But again, it's not in a level or in a zone where I'm interested. That break of high of day. Yeah, that's the target I would have if I was able to catch it down here. But down here, I don't see any sort of setup, consolidation leading to a breakout. Nothing neat.
Oil is filling the gap.
Oil's filling your gap. Let's have it. The gap.
My gap, yeah.
Sorry, that came out wrong.
Should be a Valentine's Day card. Reflex. I love you. I want to fill your gap.
Oh, that could be fun. We can all start sending cards to each other, huh? Yeah, there you go. There's that gap coming down. Again, this is the area you want to be careful of. You know what you're getting into this zone here. If it goes further down, and then if it goes back up, that's the trade I'd be interested in, long from this zone. But yeah, it could still be a little move down. We don't know. So just structure-wise, you have support and a breakdown. Wait for the retest if you want to catch the short. So it's there. We have some decent opportunities. There you go. In the last 30 seconds, we've seen two breakouts, long on the MNQ and short here on oil. Who said you have to trade the open and catch breakouts, huh? Totally not necessary. Don't need to stress yourself out. And I was trading breakouts at something like 3 a.m. Eastern time, so something like 10 a.m. over here. No problem at all. 10 or 11 a.m. here. Breakouts happen all the time. Cool. Keep an eye on this one. And actually, I'm curious about what happens with our little breakout here. There you go. So it's moved along. It hasn't come back for a retest. The breakout is very genuine because most of you know how breakouts work, right? You have a level, and this was an obvious level. There was an anomaly here, but it broke right through it. And we watched it happen live. When it did happen, you saw these green dots get printed very quickly, and the price continued moving up. So that's all the buying, all the market buyers coming in, and very aggressive buyers. And off you go. So it's sitting up there for now. I just wait for it to come back if you're interested to catch a retest. Again, not my kind of trade, but it's there. And the reason I don't do this stuff anymore, again, you guys know, is because I'm not interested in 2R trades. Anything in the 5R range will get my attention, not 2R. And breakouts generally, you end up with 2R. So I typically look for the retest off some major picture level, not just some sort of high of day break or some sort of ORB break. Those are just too small. There we go. So we got that. Actually, it's coming right back to it. Let's look at it. This is interesting. Let's see if we can identify this happen. So you're looking for the red dots and the price goes up, basically. An anomaly right where it is now, the breakout zone. Let's see. So you're getting the red dots and the price going up. There you go. There's your retest if you want to catch it. You can see the volume got heavy right where there was heavy volume previously. Your stop would be right below, right there, if you're trying to get into this. And all targets are overhead. So the entry would have been probably top of this candle here, I'd say, by the time you hit the button. And the stop below that, there it is now, you hit the stop. That's 1 attempt on that. And it's actually gone lower. You can see these sellers are actually there, but they're lower. So at this point, after this 1 attempt, I would not be interested. I'd be very much more careful. I want to see it go higher, not lower. So there you go. Yeah, wait for it. The bigger one would be in this area if it happens. So here you go. I think Tarek, you were saying you're looking at a short resistance in this area. So there you're having it. Could go that way. Yeah, I don't see a pattern at the level. That's unfortunate. Even though I have levels that I look at, I'm telling you, you don't trade it just because it gets to a level, right? When it gets to a level, there are 3 possibilities. Either it's long from there, it's short from there, or it gets stuck there. And 90% of the time, it gets stuck there, or at least it doesn't give you any long or short setup, in which case you don't trade it. So just because you have alerts going off doesn't mean there's a trade there. It just means it's a place there where you may have a trade, maybe, if the price behaves a certain way, according to your setups. So here, nothing on the MNQ. Let's look at oil. It's more interesting. Oh, there we go. There's your false breakout. Let's see, we catch a little short going into it. No, yes, no.
No, I wasn't shorting it. I'm thinking of longing it though.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not sure. This thing is excessively volatile. Again, it's more risky than it normally is these days. You know they're big players in this zone, and now just dipped in lower as well. So just pattern structure wise, you don't try and catch reversals, you catch the continuation. So you have firstly this false breakout, which is encouraging if it reclaims this level and holds above, but then you have overhead resistance right here. So I'd like to see it truly reclaim that level. Then if you can get a tight enough stop where this becomes 5R, that might be something. That could be interesting. And the real fun is to be able to catch this stuff overnight. I should have caught it here. I just wasn't looking at it at the time. But this was probably 3 a.m., 4 a.m. for me anyway. So. But let's see. This could be fun. Let's get into this. So what do we have? Yep, there's your anomaly there. More sellers than buyers. Right at the bottom that happened. All the red dots. More sellers than buyers, but the price went up. And put in heavy volume there. Yeah, that became a very heavy volume zone right there. So it pops out of there, and with a heavier volume just overhead, that would have been an entry if you like to really be aggressive. The stop below it. But like I said, I don't like to get in so aggressively. I wait for it. Then you have this consolidation that just happened, little ABCD pattern. There's your resistance, and we should have watched this 10 seconds ago to see the breakout happen. Again, the breakout happened here exactly the same as we just saw on the MNQ, where you have obvious resistance. Then when the breakout happens, it happens with a huge amount of volume, and you want to see these green dots, lots of market buyers. So the breakout so far, it looks, well, everything's in place, looks good. But like I said, I'd be careful of this resistance area right here. Just to go from long here to just up here is not worth it, not worth the trouble. I wanted to reclaim this area, get above it, show me the strength, show me that it's become support up here at about, what is this, 97.40. And then if there's enough RVR in that to get to that level there, around 105, that's when I might get interested again. I have already taken like 4 or 5 trades today, so I'm not used to trading. It's just unusual. I'm still getting back into the flow of live trading, you know that? It's been like 6 months of trading in the simulator and going live. I'm like, oh boy, this is different. Way down on the size and ease into the game. But I think the opportunity is good here. This could be good. Could be a long. Wait for it. Again, if you're aggressive, you get the long right here as it's bouncing off the level, or down here with the reversal. It's just too risky, especially with something like oil right now, which is risky anyway. So there we go. Well, hey guys, we've got Amal's webinar from last week uploaded on our channel, as well as Jill's few sessions, the more recent ones, I think last 3 from last week as well. So they're all up there. Some of you were asking about them, so they've all been uploaded today, all the recordings. So take a look. Yeah, it's fun. This is great, man. You guys keep doing webinars. I love it. I love it. I keep learning stuff. So please, more webinars. And please don't ask me to do webinars. I'm doing this stuff all the time. It's your turn now. I haven't done a webinar in like a year, I think. Feels like a year. Let's have a look here. What are we getting on oil? It's sitting just above the level. There you go. More selling, but did not drop. The red dots were here previously. Here. Yeah, so they've stepped up from down there. But you want to see the aggression going up as well. I'm seeing the high volume zone right here. See these white prints, or rather white highlights right there? If it gets aggressive, if the volume comes in up here, lots of green dots up in this zone, it happens quickly. But then you're getting more confirmation of buyers in the market. So if you're interested to enter in this area, that would be a confirmation point. And we're getting close to it. Zoom in further and have a look. It's resisted so far, the white highlights. Still wait for it. Doesn't want to go yet. It's fun, huh? These footprint charts. I really don't care about these candlesticks anymore, about waiting for it to close. I need a 5-minute pattern or something. I'm just interested in the transactions, where they're happening, and how aggressive, who's aggressive. There it is. Just above that white area with those green dots. That's what you want to see. That's your confirmation the buyers are there. You know, if you're only looking at this picture, then you have that confirmation. But like I said, I'm looking at the picture further to the left where there's overhead resistance. I want to get through that. There you go. See all that? All the imbalance. More buyers and sellers. Almost no sellers here because there is a lot of imbalance, but look at the volume. It's so weak. So that's interesting. It's all buying. No selling. Literally no selling. No market sellers, the way I see it. So up here, so far, there's buyers were here, but not able to continue. And let's see. So this is the bottom right here, the imbalance. And this is the top imbalance right here. So you have this whole zone to work with. But the most recent thing was you saw the buyers were willing to buy at higher prices right over here. So these are little clues, fun little clues, huh? Yeah, it's very much sitting there, huh? You know, this makes me think. Makes me think when I zoom back on this chart. Take a look at this. Price is sitting right there, right now, in this zone with all the catalysts we have on oil. There's a major gap and a major move. Big players is obviously what it takes to make a move like this. And it's sitting here in this zone, right where the big players were. So, you know, it's going to take a fair bit for the big players to make their decisions or accumulate their, you know, $1 trillion hedge fund positions down here. So don't expect those fast moves. And when they're ready to go, then they reclaim that level. And that's my area of interest. Then you have something. So I'm waiting for all that confirmation to happen. So just watching the slow pace of it right now, it just gives me that idea, or that little clue. This could be where the big players are making decisions. So let them make their decisions. And then coming later, you can put an alert maybe up here. When the price gets there, you should be notified around 97. And then take a look. Let's look at gold. That short on gold happened that you were talking about?
Not really.
Sitting there, huh? Well, I'm looking at the 100 chart or 1,000 tick chart. It's not the 30. Be careful with this thing, man. This is such a mess.
It's a choppy. I looked after that at the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, it's like it's just chopping. It will either find support or just like sell from there. But
Yeah. Well, we had a good run on it all the way up for a while. But yeah, this is just, you cannot trust this area. Well, you definitely don't trust it inside of where you have levels. If you identify a range, top and bottom, you can work with that. But this, I'd be very careful with this. What's with silver? That would be interesting. Oh, looks about the same. Wow. Oh man. Charts hurt my eyes, I spent too many years looking at charts. It's like my eyes just react instinctively. It's funny. What's interesting though is you had a deeper low here than previously, and then reclaim of that area where there was support. And then it's gone to the other end of it. And now what we're really getting is an ascending wedge. Even with that false breakout, it still made higher lows. So this is an indication to me there may be a breakout somewhere in the works. See, we could have thought about that here as well and here. So that has happened in the recent past without breaking out. Keep an eye on this. Could be a decent breakout. So you can see silver here did what we're looking at on oil, where you have a decently well-defined range, or at least you have a well-defined support level, and then it did a false breakout. Breaks down from that level and reclaims the level and then go. That's the same kind of market structure I'm looking at right now on oil. Right there. That's your support level. Did a false breakout. It's right back in, and if I get the confirmation I need, which would be up here, that it's holding and it's going, and the big players are they're in the game now, all the buying imbalance and all anomalies and everything, then we might get something. But I'm not staying up till 3 a.m. waiting for this. Forget about it. I'll come back tomorrow and see. At that point, I'll catch a breakout from here. Whatever. The market's always going to be there. Don't marry any trades or any ideas even. Hurt yourself doing that. Well, while we're here, anyone got anything else you want to look at? Any other tickers you guys been looking at? Mag 7 stuff? Anything in play? I have no clue what's going on in that world. I haven't looked at it, except for today. We just put some levels on, but that's it. So let me know if there's anything you want to see, or if you want to share your trades, I can look at those. We can look at them together. All that fun stuff. It is a bit of a slow phase right now in the market. News might surging up boxes in the Fed. Man, all this speculative news, I don't like this stuff. Oof. Don't take it too seriously, guys. Watch the price action. More important. Actually, I did start looking at some of the. Here, I'll show you what I found here. Oops. What have I done? I messed something up. Oh, man. There it is. Okay. No, that's not right. There we go. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. So TradingView is what I'm using here, but you guys have a lot more experience with this than I do. This is their homepage, basically. And I've just been playing with it a bit. It's interesting. Where, let's put this in here. So yeah, there we go. Where you can get at least a good little snapshot on what's going on in the markets, all the fun stuff. I'd be careful in this area. Community ideas, you don't know who's writing this stuff up. People too much time on their hands, not really traders. Be careful there. Same with all this. I don't know what kind of strategy is this. This will drive me nuts if I looked at it. But what I'm more interested in is the news. Just again, because we know now with the big catalyst in oil with the conflict, there's always something going on, especially if you are in an oil position, you want to be watching this. So even if you don't make, actually what you should not do when you're watching this or reading headlines is get a bias on the price action. What you should do is just realize that there's going to be more or less volatility on the ticker. That's important. So here, this is going to be the Bitcoin stuff, crypto moving up and down with everything that's going on. This would give me a clue to look at NASDAQ futures, which is MMQ basically. So we know there's, it says more chaos. Great, love it. Oil, same thing. US dollar, yeah, we've been looking at the dollar a bit lately. I didn't trade it yet, but I've been looking at it, got some eyes on it. Again, oil, yeah, Dow Jones. So, this is interesting, and I've got it here. What have I got the setting here? I'm just looking at the futures market. If you want to just look at the futures stuff, here it is. Get a good little view. I mean, if you're not sure what to trade, just look at this. It's not difficult. Here's the futures news. Everything you want to know about futures. No big deal. If you just want to look at the stocks, US stocks that we were looking at that earlier. So there you go. The most volatile. There you go. So how long is your pre-market prep hunting down tickers for those of you who like to do that? When I simplified it 2 or 3 years ago, and I was still doing this stuff. Probably 3 years ago, I would do stuff like this. Just go and look at the most volatile or highest volume, biggest gap, whatever. Pick a filter, put it on, and go. And this TradingView, I think, is very easy. Very simple. It's just giving you everything right here. Just look at these ones. This is already 10 tickers. You don't need more than that. Easy enough. Anyways, I've just started looking at this. I think it's a great little page. Very simple. Very easy. You just got to be careful of the pitfalls. These are the pitfalls, I think. Trade ideas. Be careful who you're listening to. They could be excellent analysts, but never traded ever in their life. And so, everyone knows that's two different things. So please be careful of this stuff. And of course, I don't know what this is. This is a joke. This is tempting. If I have extra time on my hands, I'll just start drawing on charts with crayons and put it up here. Cause a lot of chaos. Anyways, there you go. TradingView has all this stuff. I don't think you need to go running around too much on the internet looking for stuff. Oh, there we go. We went long on oil. Look, it broke down through that level. Nassim, you take that long? You're talking about it? From here.
I got stopped out.
All right. Yeah, good. Always have a stop in place. Very important. Very, very important. So, let's see what we have here. This is interesting. It was a false break. Came back. Now it begins to look like a retest of the previous break, but it's not real. Let's look at this. We had, buyers were stepping up. We were looking at it here. This candle, well, it looked positive. The buyers were there. They broke through the high volume zone, but they truly just struggled to get through that, just that little bit of resistance. And this is the anomaly. Here we go. The buyers were there again, but went straight down. This is their support. And when it got there, put in high volume right there, straight down. Lots of sellers and continued selling. So that is interesting. But we know the buyers are here again now. Again, here you can see lots of sellers, but it doesn't really want to go down quickly. It's already put in a bit of a hammer pattern. Be careful here. The big players are making their decisions. Let them play. We don't need to play with this. And we have the recent price action right there. Hasn't got down there yet. There you go. Good reasons to wait for confirmation, yeah. So the confirmation I'm waiting for is if it happens to get up here and reclaim this little resistance area around 97, that's when I get interested for a long. Until then, I really don't want to play with this in the zone. And even up here, better have good RVR going to the next level up. At least to on the recent resistance here. Wow, fun. Yeah, natural gas has been in the news along with oil. Let's see. Yeah. So what we got? Natural gas on the sell-off today. We have levels where? Here, I think. Got support and then a false break. Oh, there we go. Bring it back.
Do you think MES looks like a reversal?
MES. Let's look. MES. Well, first thing I'd like to know is it at a level? It seems like it is. Yeah, just about Friday's low range. Oh, what happened? These levels don't want to stay where I put them. Right there. Okay. Yeah, that was support. Okay, yeah, it's in a range. It's in an area where it could reverse. And that's where gap down from approximately. Let's see reversals. We want to see an anomaly to begin with, at least on the settings I have, and I don't see anything. I don't see those big green dots up here near the top. So it's not telling me that there were an excess of buyers, but the price went down. Until I don't see an anomaly, I'm not gonna say it's a reversal. I'm not even gonna think about a reversal. As candlestick patterns go, I mean, this is a 1,000-tick chart. I don't see any reversal set up here. Wait for a double top. You know, if that happens, then you have something. But I think you're looking at it in the right place. This whole area is interesting. This was basically the low of Friday. And you can see there's support right here. This candle, there's a big wick there, and right now it's bumping into that. So if this turns into support and makes a double top, then you have something. Be patient with this. This time of day, you might want to just, if you're doing just candlestick charts, wait for a 5-minute double top, which could take like an hour to form. I think those will be quite reliable. For now, no, it's just choppy. There you go. That's support. You can see it right there, the wicks bouncing. So at the minimum, you want it to at least break down from this support right here and do a retest, another simple breakout retest to the downside. This is your very firm recent support. Yeah, good stuff, guys. We have things on the move today. All in a good place. Fun. Yeah, this thing has been a pretty good bullish move in the last 2 hours, especially the pre-market breakout. Very clean. Well, at least the move happened. Catching the setup, I don't think was very clean. Yeah, be careful. See, the more I look at this, the more it begins to look like it's a chop zone. You see this, at least on my chart, again, 1,000-tick chart. There's no room to the left. And the double top pattern doesn't seem to be shaping up at all. So be super careful. So if there's chop, basically that's a consolidation. And it seems to be happening now. Maybe wait for the consolidation and wait for the breakout and the retest of it. Let's see if that happens. That's one way to catch it. That's actually the way I prefer catching reversals these days. So we're seeing the unusual selling, more selling than buying with the red dot, and it's going down. So that makes sense. The breakout seems okay so far. Let's see, right back to it. To the tiny retest. You can see that. There it goes. New low. All right, there it goes. Wait for the retest. Wait for it to pull up, and then maybe you have a short. I still like it when I see the big anomaly up here. I haven't seen that, so I wouldn't do this one. But just because my setup's not there doesn't mean it won't go. It goes all the time without me. So there's another anomaly so far. More sellers than buyers. Or at least, sorry, anomaly, more imbalance. And that's happened right below this high volume zone. That's interesting. If you're aggressive, you'd enter right now. Just stop right above that little white highlight. That's very aggressive. So it seems to be respecting that transaction right there, where it says 312. right there. And made a new low even. Oh. You in this one too, Nassim? Short? Catching the reversal?
Not yet.
Yeah. See, I think it's there. It's not the setup I go for, you know, because I need that confirmation at the top. I want to see the big players truly, be exhausted and sell. Just want to see massive selling. And I haven't seen that. I've just seen a breakout and some tiny indications here. And this is that scalping stuff. If you're into it, it's not for me. Not anymore. You can see this key level here. I mean, you have the support you can see on the candlesticks, but this one, when it broke through support, it put in a tremendous amount of volume right here, right below it. And now it's been rejecting those transactions, whoever those guys were, they're being interacted with right now. Now for the first time, it's gone above it. Let's see what it does. Can it hold up there? So far, no. You're still not seeing. I want to see a big red dot here. I'll sell it down. But nope, not happening. Freaky zone, huh? All chopped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been tricky all day.
Yeah. Yeah, stay away from it. Wait for those massive setups, the big ones. We have a massive level and then a very obvious pattern and the imbalance and the anomalies and all those things. Just make sure it's obvious. It has to jump out of the screen at you. You don't want to be, unsure and then take a trade just because you're here and you should take a trade. That's not a good reason to take a trade. So take it slow. Wait for it. Wait for the big one. The big setups. The obvious setups. And then even the RVR tends to work out in those situations. Yeah, be careful with this. At this point now, I'm just saying there's no room to the left. It doesn't look clean at all. I'll leave it alone. Let's see what happened with oil. What's this? Yeah, did that false breakdown, the second false breakdown, and now it's just, no fun. Leave that one alone. Not much to play with. And what else? We had the MNQ as well, I think. Oh yeah, that did that high update break we were watching. I think that was here. Somewhere here, perhaps. And again, see, this is a scalping situation. I'll show you guys what I do and what I intentionally do not do anymore. When we looked at the breakout, it was right here, that high update breakout. And you go. Now, the thing is, if you're catching this stuff, and all the indications were there for this breakout, so you'd enter perhaps here with a super tight stop down here. It goes in your favor. It looks like it's 1R. You take off half your position. It goes. It struggles. You take off a whole lot of it. You have maybe 10% of it left, and it gets that break even. That's how you end up with a lot of these trades, and that's called a successful trade. In the end, you realize 1.5R, 2R. Maybe you average out 2R if you're very good with it, and that's called success. With these kinds of breakouts, these scalping breakouts. And they're just not good enough. I don't see how you can afford 3 losers or a genuine losing streak, which could go on for a couple of days, and expect that on your winners, you're going to make money with just 2R trades, 2R winners. It doesn't make sense. Again, if you're super tight with your risk, it can be done. I've done it. But really, there's so much more money to be made by doing things in a much bigger way, much simpler way, much bigger RVR. Just target the bigger RVR, and you'll be surprised how you can go through a losing streak, 10 trades in a row, 2 weeks in a row, and 2 or 3 trades work to actually go for that 8R, 5R, 10R. And you don't even notice it was a losing streak. It's like, wow, that's it. So that's my philosophy. That's the way I'm doing things now, especially with futures, moving away from the options where there's no need, absolutely no need to watch these things. There's absolutely no need for partials. So even my exits from these trades are just one simple exit. There's a target, just hit that target, take the whole thing off. That's it. I'm not bothered with much else. So it's made trading much easier and bigger. And the whole idea is to just really nail it down and then go back to upsizing it to my regular sizes. So depends how you want to do it, but yeah, This is my experience with it. Okay, what do we have? This is just a mess. Not much going on. This chart. What else? What's a good chart to look at, guys? Anything on the move? What do you guys do all day? Just show up here and talk crap? Don't trade? Don't look at anything?
Over
Yeah,
trading
yes,
movement.
One at a time, one at a time. Who said what? I totally lost it. Who said? There's Nassim and Tariq. Somebody got something.
Go ahead, Nassim.
Oh, it's
noisy.
okay. You go, Tarek. I didn't say anything important.
Neither did I. I'm just sitting all day over trading and just giving the market my money.
Really, that's what you guys do all day? Oh man. Oh, we gotta fix this. Yeah, you know, really, with the market, as we all know, it's always here, and it's a huge gold mine. There's a tremendous amount of money here to be made. But you got to be super selective when you get in, when you get out, and by selective, you got to really free yourself up to be selective. So remove whatever restrictions you have as far as time is concerned. You know, what time of day can you trade? As much as you can, open that up. And with the futures market, it's always open. And you know, you can alert go off on your phone, then look at it. You know, don't have to be restricted to trade the open, trade the first 10 minutes, whatever you do, because there's bigger moves everywhere. And then, you know, even with the not trading options, you open yourself up. You open up more freedom to allow for the big RVR, because you don't have to scalp it. You don't have to deal with the time decay. You know, you can just let it run, let it pull back, and let it go again, and you're still in it. That's the beauty of it. So those are the reasons I like futures. And just opening up the opportunities much, much more than before. And in that case, over trading also becomes less of a thing, because it's so funny. Mentally, it's more like it's like a perpetually open market. So there's no such thing as today I had a couple of losing trades, I should have a winning trade before I close it for the day. It doesn't feel like that at all. It's not day trading. It's, you know, it's the market's always there. I can go to bed now, wake up in 4 hours, and the market's there. If there's a setup, okay, I'll look at it. You know, so you, again, mentally also, you're not restricted and then get lost in over trading. Oh, we got 2 hours to the close. Let me see if I can close green today. I mean, how many times have we all done that, right? So whatever is holding you back, or rather whatever is triggering you into over trading and being maybe too aggressive, more aggressive than you should be, you know, identify those things and work around them or create solutions for them. For me, the solution is the futures market and alerts. That's it. Very, very, very simple. Don't have to look at anything else. And I like it so far. So, but I think that opportunity is here for everybody in every time zone, and you know, it doesn't matter if you have a job or not. It's available to everybody. You know, it's amazing what's available. So take your time and think about those sorts of things. Again, identify what is triggering you into taking bad trades or weak trades or getting into poor positions. And you'll find many mechanical things that'll just solve those problems quite simply. And you can move from there. So try it out. I see a lot of answers here in the futures market. I mean, even in a case where you're not well capitalized, you have a tremendous amount of leverage here with NinjaTrader. But with that, of course, you have to know how leverage works, which again, the simple 80-20 of leverage is put a stop in place before you put on the trade. Identify how many dollars you're putting at risk on the trade, put on that size and that stop, and leave it alone. That's it. You've taken care of leverage, right? Don't move your stop, obviously. I mean, you've all known this enough. And that's it. You've solved the leverage problem. Yeah. So you don't have to be afraid of leverage. So plenty of good ways to do things, guys. Plenty of good opportunities, I think. Lots of fun to be had for everybody. All right, let's look at gold here again. Nothing going on there. Still stuck. Oil is in, just sitting there. The S&P did it reverse. Yeah, it started to move down a bit. A very, very tricky zone. Let's have a quick look at it again. Again, did not see the anomaly up at the top. Don't see it anywhere, really. That's not an anomaly. That's red and it went down, so that makes sense. Not the kind of reversal I would trust. Yeah, that's about it. Not much going on here. Really not much going on at the moment. Things get to levels, but they still gotta behave the right way for you to put risk on, right? Otherwise, don't. All right, cool. Look at that, 9 p.m. already. Wow. Anyone got anything else you'd like to discuss today? Everyone good? You know what you're doing? Other than overtrading, or professional overtraders, everybody? Fun. All right, cool. Great. Thanks a lot, guys. Good fun. So I'll come back in here again tomorrow and try and chat with you. And I believe I shared all the screenshots of the trades I took today. If I didn't, I'll take a look, get them out. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll come back again and do it soon. See you later.
Thanks, Avi.
Take care.
Thank you. See ya.